Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a new day, it's a new you, it's a new me. It's Wrath of the Gods Retold Qualifier number 3, quarterfinals in the right-hand corner of the map in the blue color. Playing as Ra, his name is Magic, and in the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Odin, his name is Grass. I'm joined with Maiden, and let's get it, Maiden. What do you see on this map? What do we got?
Well, we were just talking about Odin having a struggle against myth units, right? The myth unit spam of Ra. And so looking at Grass's options right now, immediately, that's, in my opinion, that's the big question, is how is Grass and Groom going to handle, how is Odin going to handle, how is he going to handle the potential myth unit spam, be it Wadgets, be it Sphinx, whatever, of Magic. So having said that, me as the Odin player, I feel pretty comfortable on this map, depending on how he scouts. Main thing is because below Grass and Grim's base, that's a very huntable hunt patch down on the bottom, just below his base, and then on the backside, he's got a lot of. He's essentially has two pretty safe deer patches, gazelle patches. So on Elysium, you know that the gold is going to be tough to grab, tough to secure. But the hunt is kind of that big question mark. How much food are you going to have? So the fact that Odin is going to have so many viable hunt options, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be... You're absolutely right. If you can get some walls down on that backside nice and early, that's going to allow him to secure that hunt. He can also... You notice he hasn't used Great Hunt yet. So you can use that in the Classical Age on the backside. It's going to be really, really hard for Magic to get in there with Wadgets or Sphinx. So, yeah, it's a really, really nice map for him to kick this one off. There's another relic on here that I think is a really big one for this matchup, which is the Kopesh of Horus with a little 1x bonus versus the myth units in the center of the map. It does look like Grass has not spotted it just yet, so unfortunately might go the wayside of Magic. But if he can find it, then that's going to make his life much, much easier against those myth units of Ra.
It's still going to be rough, dude. Depending on when Grass and Grim is actually going to be forced to take engagements.
Yeah.
Egyptian Axemen are still so freaking brutal against the Herseer, man. It's going to be brutal regardless whether or not he gets that relic.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely right. Any amount of support for the Norse against those myth units is very welcome. But yeah, even if you have it, you still got to play the matchup at a perfect level, as we're going to be seeing Grass going through Freya. So no surprises there. Would you ever see a Heimdall on this map in this matchup? Big Heimdall rush. I think so.
No. No Heimdall rush. No Heimdall rush. What I have a two-part question for you before we jump into the Classical Age. Question one, is Thundering Hooves and Sesrumnir and what's it called? And Valkyries, are they good against Ra?
I think you absolutely need a myth unit you can make as Norse. So arguably the Valkyrie, if you've got enough food on the map, like on this Elysium map, if you've got enough food for that, you can make that unit, and that can be your counter to Wadgets after the first initial fight goes. If it doesn't go too badly for you. It's a lot of ifs. But Sesrumnir, I think, is also incredibly important. Being able to survive an extra hit or two from an Axeman. It was probably one hit from an Axeman. There's a difference between getting off a one shot on a Wadget and getting 0 shots off on a Wadget, and that can be enough to kind of carry you through in a fight. Maybe. Again, big ifs. On the other hand, Heimdall, gets a little bit of delay on your opponents if you can get that undermine down to deny the barracks and maybe get up some early Rigsthula and defensive play. I have seen it work on closed maps, which Elysium isn't one of those. Like Watering Hole, for example, can work.
But that's what I was thinking, is that I wonder if, in light of, we were talking about, if you know what your opponent's strategy is, even if it's going to be an OP strategy against you, you can counterplay it. And we see the Wadgets. I mean, already we have 2 Wadgets out. We got the Axemen coming out. But having said that, what about a Rigsthula boom? Something unexpected to try and shake things up for Grass and Groom? He's not doing it, obviously. This is all hypothetical. We got Freya coming in. But I wonder if that would be viable to kind of shake things up, go for a boom, and I don't know, maybe force yourself to survive on a market for a little bit, gold-wise, and then go from there.
Well, one day we'll see people trying it. But on this day, we're seeing Forest Fire getting dropped down. That does delay those widgets just ever so slightly. And the Axemen are already out. Medium Axemen is already out. And Magic is ready to move across the map and put some pressure onto Grass here. Now, we've already said it, but Grass's base is actually really, really defensible. And he's already onto Fort Hunt. This is something we probably don't talk about very often in this matchup, Maiden, is there is this very, very small timing in the early stages of the game where the Norse army is just not the Norse army. The Egyptian army is actually not as terrifying as you might think it is as the Norse player. As soon as that third, fourth Wadjet comes in, then it starts becoming like, I really just don't want to take a fight unless I get a perfect engagement. So it makes some sense that Grass can grab this Fort Hunt and then move back. And he still hasn't used his Great Hunt. So he's still holding that for that back hunt a little bit later on there. But Magic, he's going to be setting up those obelisks and trying to get a little bit more information going about what Grass is doing. But Grass hasn't been touched yet. So he's got to be feeling good about this position, right?
Of course. I mean, you see Magic's army is moving up to that top side, whereas he's hunting down on that bottom side. So he's chilling right now, man. He's chilling. He knows that the units are up there. He had his Valkyrie and Raiding Cavalry out on the map, like poking around here and there. So he's comfortable, man. He's probably going to be able to finish up these Gazelles as well and then move back onto that back hunt. So if I'm in Grass and Grimm's position, you're right. I do agree with you about the Wadjet numbers and everything, but at this point in time, there's 3 of them, man.
This is actually a really, really big fight for Grass. He's going to be pushing through here, Maiden. Those Axemen are managing to prevent the Hearser from getting through for the time being. But, I mean, how much population is actually remaining? It was kind of already looking like Grass and Grimm's population is dropping drastically here.
Those Wadgets are still very alive, dude. I know he picked off 1 already. There's actually... Ooh! Hersir's getting in on the Wadgets plus the Valkyrie. He's maybe surviving here, man. He's maybe okay.
Magic is actually... Oh, no, I don't know. Look at the population for Grass. He's down to 38 at this point. Now Magic is going to be able to put the pressure on. The Spearman coming around onto the side here. 8 minutes and 10 seconds into this game already. And Grass is just absolutely on the back foot here.
He's on the back foot, boy, but he ain't dead. That's
Yes,
kind of the point
exactly.
here, is that, well, there's the back hunt that Grass can fall back on. He took all of that forward hunt. He can go back on the backside. He picked off all of the Wadgets. He picked off all the Wadgets. I think that, yes, Grass and Grimm, he ended up kind of losing that fight. But in terms of how scary this matchup and the dynamic of this matchup can go, I think he's okay, man.
Yeah, losing those Wadgets and getting favor. That's the big thing here for Grass, because now you can get Valkyries, and now it's not as simple as Wadget scary. It's, I have Valkyries I can use to run around and get onto those Wadgets and actually take them out. We are seeing Magic. He is so good with these raids, but Grass is now in with Raiding Cavalry, and he's going to be able to get a little bit of a revenge kill on the retreat. And Magic also behind this is grabbing a second town center, which Grass is going to notice.
Does notice it. Boit, I know this is going to be kind of awkward sometimes. Quick time check. What are you at?
9 minutes. I'll go 9 minutes and 30 seconds now.
Okay, good. Okay, I had a little bit of catching up to do.
Okay.
We're good though. We're good. It's going to be a little awkward, but we'll get some time checks here and there. Anyways, yes, second town center coming in for Magic. I like that. The first fight was not an overwhelming victory in my opinion for Magic.
Yeah.
So grabbing a second town center, building up. He's going to stay classical for a bit, build up those numbers, and his game plan has not changed. I don't know if he planned on taking that second town center or not, but yeah, game plan hasn't changed. He's still going for gold.
It's
Having said that, Boit,
he's on it though.
gold on the bottom side.
Exactly. The thing is, like, fundamentally speaking, right, you win a fight, even by like 10 units, then that gives you the resources to get the town center. But in doing that, you then give the military edge slightly back over to your opponent. And maybe you don't want to do that when you're playing as Egyptian in this matchup. Because look at all those throwing axemen. Look at the Wadjet numbers. Look at the Valkyrie. This could be a really, really difficult fight for Magic to take. And he's getting caught out of position with a very immobile army now.
True. Remember, he has shifting sands. We've seen that very
True.
often in this matchup. That you just go, you YOLO forward, you get damage where you can. If you get into a rough spot, you just shifting sands yourself back. I think, dude, he's got 4 Wadgets and just 5. Jeez, and tons of barracks units. I think he's okay.
It's just never going to stop. Those Wadgets are just going to keep coming out. I mean, what is the favor generation at? 14 favor per minute. That's 1 Wadget every minute, basically coming through. So it's a lot.
That's a lot. It grinds my gears. But whatever. Honestly, I think look at Grass and Groom, like he's mining that gold. He's got a good looking army. Sure, he's dropping behind in the villager numbers, but I think again it's Grass and Groom's game to survive and try and survive long enough until he can get some kind of power spike in the heroic age. Honestly, this is Magic's game to win in the next. I think he has an opportunity in the next several minutes before Grass and Groom is able to get heroic, where he can really take advantage of these Wadget numbers, the lack of Goaty, the lack of Jarls, myth units, God power, etc. And we might be seeing that right here as he's moving in.
Yeah, the raiding cavalry getting caught out a little bit on the back. He's got to find some sort of. You got absolutely right. He's got to find some sort of raids right now. Magic doesn't have anything defending his gold mine. So if you can get in there, get that damage done, then you can kind of get a little bit more value. But the Wadget army wandering forward here to check out these dwarves, and there's really not a whole lot of defenses on this position here. But Grass reacting quickly, retreating away. The tension is palpable, Maiden.
I know, but if he's not careful, he's gonna lose some of those dwarves to the Wadget's poison. Oh, careful there, buddy. Go.
We survived. Okay, so we do have Scardy coming through here as well now for Grass as Magic. I assume he's going to be looking to get to the next stage relatively soon. His food is starting to pick up. He does have an armory up. So that...
I don't know, man. Hang on. He's taking that forward town center.
Oh,
he's getting Electrum Bullets. He's dropping Shadoof. It seems like he's kind of really investing into the classical age here, man. Do you like that, to go so aggressive on with the forward gold? Do you like that?
I don't... It's... No. But it's Magic, and Magic is going to do things that Magic likes to do. This is just part of his... I guess, from what I understand, it's part of his, like, fundamentals... sort of, or like decision making. It's like, if you get a small victory in a fight, then grab a town center. Grab a technology. Effectively the idea of when you're ahead, get further ahead. But even so, he has managed to be full population, and now he's clicking up through Sobek.
Wow, there we go. He also has, he's moving into the gold mine here. He just got a couple of really nice slinger upgrades. There goes a couple of dwarves, man. Not the biggest of raids if he decides to retreat, but whew,
and here's
that
the
could have gone a lot worse.
Maiden, here's the thing, right? Scardy's come through. Frost is in, but you know what you can do against Frost? You can shifting sands away from it.
Of course you can. Is he going to? Is he going to have to here? Maybe.
I don't even know if he has to, but if he wants to, he can just shifting sands right now during this Frost. His units will stay frozen wherever he shifts to, but... he could go for that. He's also going to have Locust very shortly as well, so that might be enough to help him through this fight. The problem is that the Hearse are going to be on top of those Wadgets to clean them all up straight away.
Well, but at the same time, if you remember how Locust works, it kind of goes in a slow path. You could maybe Locust that back line of throwing Axemen and do some serious damage to those throwing Axemen and kind of resituate his army in order to try and take out the Hersey really quickly. I think there's maybe potential to stay here and take the fight. Maybe. Maybe it's more safe to just shifting sands away, honestly.
He's dropping that Locust down as the army's going to be coming out of that Frost. The Wadgets here going to be falling down incredibly quickly. On the back line, the Berserks are in for Grass in a really, really big way, but the population is looking like it's standing fairly strong. Actually, no, it's not, as Magic decides to just get out of there, and Grass maybe has found a way to equalize here. Even through that fight, Valkyries were picking off villagers at the bottom of the map there, so it's still going to be a 30 villager difference. But Grass has survived through this moment, and all he has to do to get some advantage here is just push the tempo, get himself more military buildings, and maybe get a town center down behind this, and he might be able to equalize here.
I agree. I think there's potential. However, just like Grass and Groom, we're talking about, the Wadjet play, the Raw, actually getting the gold star off on Odin. But now that Odin is heroic, sure, he already used his God Power Frost. But now that he has different units, heavy units, etc., I think that there's an opportunity maybe to stay one T. I know you want him to get a second town center. He's getting farther and farther behind economically. If he really invests hard into heroic age, maybe actually maybe not. Magic has a big old army there. Maybe not. I was thinking maybe one TC going aggressive and could maybe pay off for him. I don't know. Magic's ego is pretty darn big though.
Yeah,
maybe that won't work.
It's huge. Soon, like a quick mythic age is never really out of the question. You get Fimbulwinter and then, or you hit a I want to say Ragnarok, but we've already got heavy Axeman in with the what's it called, Scalloped Axe. Axe. So those Axemen are absolutely terrifying. Oh my god, my game's just gone into super speed. So I'm at 16 minutes and 50 seconds right now as I go into normal speed.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I just went to
take it easy there, buddy.
I'm sorry. The Magic's moving forward and Grass is now taking down a town center on the bottom side of the map there. Magic's town center with those portable rams.
The portable ram idea is weird in my opinion. Sure, it's nice to take out that TC, but Magic's he's already up to 85 villagers. Ooh, a nice little raid going on the top side, honestly. Grass losing some precious economy there. I don't think that Magic cares about that town center going down, honestly. He has that other TC on the top side to take. He already has villager numbers. He's close to his vill limit. I think Magic's just fine losing the TC.
Yeah, I mean, he's just getting himself back up to full population. This is such a difficult sort of position to be in for Grass because he's behind on, well, now he's kind of equal on pop because he's on 2 town centers, but he's behind on like max pop, and Magic can just push forward and he's, I don't know though. The army of Grass does look pretty scary.
It's a bunch of berserkers though, man. How are they going to fare against the scalped axemen?
Yeah, that's the big question. The Godir in the back here, he's got to get those onto those Wadgets and get them cleaned up. It's looking like the population of Magic is still sitting kind of high, but Magic has to retreat back yet again as Grass is going full send forward for the time being here.
I don't know if this is going to work, man. He's got portable rams. He's trying to take advantage of them as, while he can. If this push doesn't work, I think Grass is going to be in a bad position because he's so far behind economically. The Berserkers are just melting, it looks like, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the Slingers are able to just completely wreck those throwing axes on the back line. And Grass's full population-ish army just gets absolutely melted there. And now Magic is not only 2 town centers, but 90 villages to 50. He's also got a huge army remaining and siege towers to push through this hill fort on the front.
Oh yeah, that was honestly, if there was a flaming weapons that Grass and Groom had, hell yeah, dude, go for it. But with just straight berserkers and throwing axemen, no way. He just got smoked in that army. Or in that fight.
I just want to make one comment. Imagine forest fire just then.
Oh, I can imagine it.
Okay, so at least one person here. We've got one person on board. If that forest fire is up on that fight, I actually reckon it would have done something. But Magic does.
You think so?
I think it would have done something, yeah. Because it was the choke point. It would have done something. They can't push forward. I don't know if it would have won him the fight or not, but it would have done more than at the very start of the game.
That's a good point. Save your forest fire, folks. You don't necessarily need to use it right away. Save your forest fire. There are opportunities. There are opportunities.
The army military count here is actually really, really close. Grass is way in front at the end there, but he just can't convert. So I think those axemen, as you were saying, is just too strong to deal with those infantry units. And maybe Grass needed to get out more raiding cavalry to deal with that, or something, maybe Jarls or something, I don't know. But he's just so far behind on economy, right? Magic just goes up into the stratosphere. It's just such a difficult matchup. But first game going the west side.
Hey, hang on.
Okay, I'm hanging on.
Hold your horses there, man. By all means, how many people out there, like Grass and Groom put himself into a nice position. And like I said, the Frost saved him early on, sure. But if he had a flaming weapons there, he might have been able to push through that Migdal, that whole position, and actually really complicated the game for Magic. So sure, he's playing Odin. That's not how it goes. That's a different god we're talking about, but still. Grass, he survived all of the initial attacks, and he got himself into a pretty decent position there. So bravo to Grass and Group in my book.
Yeah,
That's a tough matchup, and he did great.
It was very, very good. Anyways, we're going to jump in and check out this next draft here. Let's get it going. We are back here with game number 2. Hey, well, Iron Maiden joining me in the hot seat as we've got in the top of the map in the blue color playing as Gaia. It's Mr. Magic versus in the red color playing as Isis. It's Grass. What are we seeing here, Maiden? Anything spicy?
As we're 52 seconds into the game. Oh, we got spice, let me tell you.
Could be.
Well, again, all I'm going back to is that Grass and Groom loves playing Isis, and he loves that Ancestors Eclipse on the economy. I don't know how well that's going to work against Gaia. However, being able to afford those heroes, being able to afford his citizen heroes, etc., etc. I'm not so sure about it, but it kind of depends on what. In fact, you know what? I think if Magic has watched Grass and Groom at all, he should know that Grass likes to do that. Anytime Grass is going to get Isis, and I believe Isis was Grass Groom's first pick of the draft. So you gotta know that that's the most likely strategy that he's going for. So again, when you know what your opponent's going to do, that makes the counterplay so easy. So I'm interested to see how Magic is going to handle this. Just go straight land, make sure he's got plenty of favor out for converting to heroes, etc., and go from there.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I do wonder, Maiden, is there time to just react to Ancestors Eclipse by clicking the hero button on the villages when it comes through? Like, say your citizens are on, like, the chickens, and Ancestors Eclipse comes down on the chickens. You got like 3 villages there. You heroize all those, then the minions have to go elsewhere to, say, your Gaia Forest, and by the time they get there, you've got the resources for more hero cities. You heroize those. Or is that just like a complete waste of resources?
I don't know. I think it's a decent idea. I mean, but do you heroize your citizens, or do you already have army?
Well, probably preferentially, if you have the heroed army there, you can just kill the minions, it won't matter. But if you don't, if you get caught out at all, I wonder.
I think there's plenty of possibility. There's plenty of potential there, by all means. Again, we're assuming that's what he's going to go for. I'm assuming that's what he's going to go for, because what else is there? If you look on the bottom side of, I guess you could kind of go fairly hard on water, which is a potential. We see Grass dropping a dock way over there on the left-hand side, so he could maybe go aggressive on water and try and force kind of some awkward reaction from Magic in that regard. But aside from that, like, look at the town centers. Going for a second TC play, I don't think that that's going to be great for Isis on this map, just looking at where the town centers are. So I think the heroic play, or maybe kind of some funky, aggressive water play with that forward dock. In fact, he's got docks on both sides, super far forward.
It's super aggressive, isn't it, man? Like, this is taking all of the forward fish away. All of basically Magic's fish away. But Grass, in doing this, it's a lot of idle villager time to some degree. So he's definitely going to be taking a longer, or a later route to the classical age. I wonder if Magic here is going to be thinking about doing his own fast heroic into just Contarius spam in an effort to just get the gold staff and get the game over and done with. Like, we've seen this happen to some degree. You get the Hesperids tree, you make a whole bunch, you get that Poseidon secret tech, make a whole bunch of Contarius, and you just kind of full send. There's not really a town center for Grass to grab that secures a gold mine, so to speak. So he's going to have to defend that with a Migdol or 2 or 3.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, exactly. So with the later, you mentioned the later advance of Grass and Groom, since he's going for so much fish. He did just click up now through Bass. He's actually not that much far behind. We got what's it called, Oceanus coming in for Magic. He's actually not that far behind, um, advance wise. But I agree, the kind of the later advance, it kind of sets him up perfectly to potentially go for that heroic play, the fast heroic into Ancestors Eclipse. He does have 7 on wood though, which is not heavy, heavy to really fight, heavily on water, but he maybe is looking at a little bit of some water pressure, maybe into some Ancestors afterward.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other question is, when is Grass going to stop building fishing ships? Because he's got so much of the map secured with his forward dock. He could just like, he could probably go up to like 30 fishing ships or something crazy. And Magic is doing the same thing. He's about to spot it. He's about to spot the craziness.
Well, what's it going for? We actually have a Siege Ream coming out for Magic. A couple of Siege Reams coming out already. We got nothing for Grass, so I think Grass is dropping a market what's it called, Market Armory right away. So he's not even going for he's not going for the Water Army just yet. It looks like he's plan on going straight heroic.
Yeah, I think the scariest part about playing this map is like how much do you commit onto the water, as Carnivora coming down on the top side of the map here to try and take out some fishing ships. Can't do that, but to help take out the dock. But if you go too hard on the water, like say you build, I don't know, 7, 8 naval ships, and your opponent just goes full send on the land, it doesn't matter if you kill off all the enemy fishing ships because you're not going to be able to get any gold. So you have to really calculate exactly how much you can build and make sure you don't lose any of it while you also secure that gold mine. A little bit of a Sphinx raid onto those villages here. But Magic.
Well, so having said that, Boyd,
yeah.
We're talking about the gold, like the town center options for Grass and Groom, not really giving him gold, a really good gold option. It's not necessarily the same thing for Magic. Magic, I think, on the top side has decent gold options,
pretty close,
but that could easily, but if we're looking at a pretty early Ancestors Eclipse, that's not necessarily gonna happen or be available to him. So if he's not careful, I know he's already got an armory up for himself. So you mentioned early Cantarius. I think that's what Magic is kind of aiming towards. He could be clicking up just now, up through Thea, and there's Nephthys coming in as well. So they're kind of jockeying for position on water, not a big investment from either player, and that's where a lot of this experience and game sense that Magic has comes into play, where he's not it looks like he's not over investing onto water. He's making sure he gets that good heroic time so that he doesn't get caught out by Ancestors Eclipse. He makes sure he gets those Cantarius. That's his, one of his strong army comps, or army units, I guess, in general, etc.
Yeah, and like you're saying right there, normally you're not going to see Magic commit too much, but I think he just lost all of his navy on the bottom side, and on the right side here is also down to only 2 ships as well. So he has to invest a little bit more into that when he probably wants to just be building some heroes to defend against this incoming Ancestor Eclipse. But the Thea's coming through, so he can go Momilo, Contarius. He's moving forward onto a gold mine. This is going to be exactly the position that Grass is going to want to Ancestors Eclipse. Does Grass see this or not? Answer is no. He's got no idea, in fact, that there's a gold mine in the middle of the map there, right in front of his priest. He's got no idea.
Ouch. I want to go switch over to his point of view real quick. Oh, wow. That's so unlucky. Is that unlucky? Just barely doesn't see it. Wow.
Sometimes you make your own luck in these sorts of games, don't you reckon, mate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Yep. The Ancestors Eclipse is now down. There's only a handful of citizens in this main base, and Magic here, he is trying to min-max it, but that can sometimes mean you're going to lose a citizen.
Not quite. He's doing okay, man. There goes the Sphinx. The Stymphalian bird is even going to be pretty decent to counter the Ancestors. Dude, those Ancestors are just chasing some random oracle. Oh, this is no problemo. He might lose a citizen in his base, but still, I think Magic is chilling. He's A-okay.
He's absolutely
Should
fine.
be, at least. He should be.
But we're also seeing something that is a little bit worrying for Magic is that Camel Riders are coming out, and Magic is going to be spamming out Contarius. So the first kind of army comp victory, so to speak, should be going over to Grass in this moment. But I mean, how many of those can you really spam out compared to the Contarius? That's the question, right?
Yeah. Well, plus he already has several upgrades. Let me click a Contarius real quick. He has several upgrades. I think he got both of his Thea upgrades.
Yeah, he does. Lance of Stone,
Yeah.
Side and Secret. And he's got those Dryads as well, you have to remember. But we've already got Osiris clicked up here for Grass. Magic has to hit some sort of timing here, right? Otherwise, Son of Osiris plus Mummy plus a whole bunch of those camels are going to be really, really difficult to get through.
Absolutely. Like the camels might be really good against the Contarius, but there are the Bite of the Shark, Murmillo to really and the Dryads to complicate the army composition for Grass and Groom. So that's an interesting matchup between those two army compositions. But once you throw in Son of Osiris, it's a sad day for 11 minutes. I guess by the time he gets up to Osiris, it'll be about 12 minutes into the game. That's going to be rough for Magic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got to be thinking something is going on, right? You see three Camel Riders there. Where's the rest of Grass's army? And he's also getting a lot of value with the Leviathan and a couple of those cabinets on the other side here. So this is forcing Magic to invest quite a bit on the water. So raids do manage to come through. Getting a couple of villager kills is a big deal at this point in the game.
Not too shabby, man. Look at the eco numbers. Actually, sure, Grass and Groom has a whole lot of fishing ships, absolutely, but it's 42 to 26 eco pop. I know Osiris is coming in, but you also need an economy. You also need villagers, so you can't lose too many, vills to Contarius raids. He's going to get himself in trouble.
Yeah, 100%. And now with the two Migdols, that's going to be a lot of Camel Riders. But the Contarius coming straight after that Son of Osiris. Does get a couple of shots on there, but good garrison micro. And now Magic has to get out of there because that Son of Osiris is going to hit like a truck.
Oof. A very electric truck, man. It's those new age trucks with that lightning bolt, man. It's brutal. Eco-friendly, baby. Not really.
Gone into super speed again. 12 minutes and 4 minutes and 5 seconds.
Okay, I'm at the same time. We have Ancestors Eclipse 2.0 coming in here, man. Look at that. Or rather, not Ancestors Eclipse, just another Ancestors. Look at that. I mean, is that four minions there? Yeah, sheesh.
The mummies are so strong. Especially when you combine them with Son of Osiris, because you've got the vomit, so to speak, of the mummy comes out. And then the Son of Osiris just goes, all right, that unit's dead. And then all of a sudden you've got minions to help out for the next vomit that comes through. And then it just kind of snowballs out of control.
Yeah. It's very true. I mean, at the very least, I guess they lose their life over time. So that's one saving grace. But regardless, they're still strong.
Yeah.
Especially with Son of Osiris there, they're strong.
And I mean, the only thing that I'm seeing here for Magic is Implode. And look at what Grass is doing. He is role-playing like the Mister as he's going for a forward monument to the Pharaohs there to say, no Implode on top of my Son of Osiris, please.
That's beautiful, man. Implode's not coming in anytime soon if you look at the economy of Magic, but the prophylactic play there is excellent. I love it.
And Magic's army just does not do well against Camel Riders at this point. He needs Catapultes, Murmillo, basically anything other than archers and cavalry. He does have some Catapultes now, so that will be a help.
What's better though, Bite of the Shark Murmillo or the Catapultes? Either, I suppose, but still.
Yeah. I mean, you also want you're also kind of wanting the Contarius to deal with the Son of Osiris because he's such a... If you get the surround, he gets killed off really quickly. But if you don't, then he just sits here and lays waste to your army on repeat. As Grass is just able to completely decimate this army yet again as Magic has to pull back.
Yeah. Quick time check, Boit. What are you at?
14 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay. I'm just a skosh ahead of you.
Okay.
Just a skosh. Just a skosh. Speaking of a skosh, Boit, I think Magic's gonna need a skosh more army because he is getting smoked by that lightning of Son of Osiris. Okay,
Yeah, there's just
Son of Osiris, man.
you just can't do
Super
anything
strong.
to this. You just can't do anything to this unit unless you're the one dictating the fights. And I think Magic got kind of caught out as he does tap out there in that first fight on the Migdol stronghold, where he was like trying to get that surround. He kind of overcommitted a little bit, lost a lot of units on the retreat, and he was just not able to get in there and prevent the big death ball of units coming over. And Grass obviously making the right read there to just go into Camel Riders in a big way completely shuts down those Contarius that Magic wanted to build.
I'm actually a little bit surprised, like how strong that those camels were, just bare naked camels, at the time, doing a pretty good job against Contarius that were at the time very upgraded with those Thea upgrades, and I believe they were medium early on in Heroic. So honestly, man, camels OP. In general, Boyd, I'm a teensy bit surprised that Magic wasn't really able to really get rolling a little bit faster, if that makes sense. I wonder if Ancestors Eclipse did a little bit more damage to his economy than I expected. It seems like his fish, Grassy Groom had better fish, but Magic was fishing pretty much the whole time. Maybe not quite as much, but still, with Gaia Eco and everything, I kind of thought maybe that he would be able to produce a bigger army, but it just wasn't quite enough to match up against Son of Osiris, unfortunately for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, we at the very least here, Grass leveling the series, and an incredibly well played game for him. We're going to be moving into game number 3, where we're going to be going in on to Kurlauger. And we are back here. Game number 3. Currently 1-1 in this best of 5 match series for the quarterfinals of the 3rd qualifier for Wrath of the Gods. In the top of the map, in the blue color playing as Hades, it's Magic. In the bottom side of the map, in the red color playing as Zeus. His name is Grass Maiden. We were talking a little bit beforehand about how this matchup goes, how much we've actually seen this matchup. I know you asked me what I think, but I want to hear what you think first, because I don't really know.
Hang on a second. I'll tell you what I think. Grassengroom went down on the bottom side with his initial dock, right?
Yep.
He's on that bottom river, whereas Magic is up on the top side of that top river. Bro, this is one of those. I think that the fish spawns in general they're negligible. Sometimes they can impact the game, but for the most part, I think that the fish spawns are just fine. This is one instance where Grassengroom does not luck out at all on the fish spawn. Where he placed his dock, he has a couple of initial spots, and that's it nearby. Whereas if you look over at Magic side, he's got 9 at a fairly decent position around that initial dock. That's a big time bummer, man.
Yeah, that's super unlucky. I mean, you can play around it a little bit by you're going to get set back 50 wood or so. So I think he's missing some fish here, nonetheless. Yeah, you can play around it by dropping a granary up on the next spot. We could.
Can I throw it out there? Yep. Is this restartable?
Wait, 3, 6, 9. The other fish is on the other side of the map. So technically speaking, it's fair game. All the fish
I see. Yeah. So instead of having yeah, but it's just up. He just unlucky didn't go to the top side. He went to the bottom side instead.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Enough of that. So yeah, Hades against Zeus on Kurlauger. I think it's so hard to tell, man, because with Zeus, we've seen players go pretty heavily into hoplites. Yes. Usually, and then try and kick your opponent off of one side of fish. You usually have a couple of supporting, what are they called? Triremes. 1, maybe 2, 3, etc., to try and pick off docks or other units really quickly. but those hoplites and Minotaur and everything doing kind of the bulk of the work there. I think it's strong. I think eventually, I think Zeus should probably be able to kick off the Zeus player the Hades player. Zeus should be able to kick Hades off of fish of one side. But after that, once the tox numbers actually start coming into play, then the tables turn quite a bit. Because with Hades getting the ballistics for free, and again, once you can get the numbers out, those hoplite numbers, they look scary initially on the early dock, but pretty quickly, once those tox numbers start coming in, I think it switches into the favor of Hades. That's my take.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think the thing that is the most kind of impactful on this map is just that bronze timing that Zeus has got, which Hades doesn't. Hades has got Aphrodite, which is equally strong in a way and somewhat less strong in a completely different way. But yeah, if you get hit with that bronze timing and you're not prepared for it, you can just get gold starved and lose the game on the spot. But like you're saying, because Zeus has got Bolt, he gets the leg up to kick the game off. So the question is, what do you use Bolt on? Do you use it on the Achilles? Do you use it on the Minotaur? If you don't use it on the Minotaur, then maybe the Minotaur pops up in your main base while your heroes are trying to harass the fish, and then you might lose some villages, and then while you might be able to win the water on one side, you've lost villages, and then you get some equilibrium there. So there's a lot of tech, so to speak. I don't know what the right word to use there. There's a lot of like intricacies that go into, I guess, decision making and where you're going to be throwing your powers. But Magic.
That's a very fair point.
And we see Grass equally Athena.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Indeed, Athena for both players. But having said that, one saving grace, I think, you're absolutely right about the Dionysus play. But there are a lot of different gold options, which is one saving grace, I think, for the Hades player. You don't have to necessarily be in the middle on gold. You don't necessarily have to be only on the top side. There's gold options, which I think is a little bit of a saving grace to kind of mitigate the threat of that of the bronze push.
Yeah, and you might even want to go through. He's talking about Aphrodite, but you might even want to go through Apollo, because then you can underworld from one side of the map to the other side, and someone bronzes onto one side where the underworld is, and you just go over to the other side, and suddenly the bronze is gone, and you've run away, just like sort of with shifting sands. So I guess there is there are some ways to play around it, but we've already got some triremes coming out.
I gotta just real quick before we get into the action of this game, dude. Last week, Kvoth, I think it was Kvoth on this map. I think it was Kvoth had a crazy awesome underworld play. Did you by chance catch that wreck or the actual game?
Nope.
Dude, I'd have to go back and look exactly who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Kvoth. That is definitely worth a cast. That's YouTube worthy, baby. So mark that down on your little notepad for to go back to that one. But anyways, back into this game.
Go and watch Maiden's cast of it. Get over there, check it out. He's done it.
that too.
Oh, the bolt.
But no, I want you to watch it, man. You need to watch it.
Watch
Who
your
cares
cast.
about the viewers?
I'll watch your
you
cast.
Need to watch it. Anyways, okay, let's get back into this game. The live game. Here we go.
All right, well, we said a bolt on the Achilles, right? Both the Minotaurs seem to be dead. Minotaurs are still coming out, though, for Grass, as we've come into somewhat of a standstill on this bottom side of the water here.
Yeah, by all means, those hoplites, the bolt and the hoplites and everything, there's no restoration that's been casted. I guess I don't necessarily expect one to actually come through just yet, but it seems like, honestly, on the Hades side of things, like, he's doing okay. Magic is doing a-okay. The top side, we have no action, and it's a little bit of a standstill, like you said, here in the middle. So those early hoplites, they're not really blasting through the right-hand side like Grassagrim wants.
No, but he's got himself Labyrinth of Minnows now. I completely missed that, mate. And these bull Minotaurs are going to be a big pain as that hoplite just gets beaten into a forest and gets spent flying. But he survives. He just bashed his head into a tree. It's not a big deal. It's fine.
He's a trooper, man. Check out that guy. Give him a raise. That guy needs a raise.
We'll give him a medal.
Yeah.
Magic
Anyway,
is
you're
like-
right, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Magic's now throwing down a whole bunch of military buildings in his base now, so he's clearly wanting to stay maybe in the classical age for a little bit longer, which is a bit of a surprise when that heroic age seems so important.
Wow, look at his resources. He is dropping the buildings, but he's sniffing heroic at the same time, man.
And while this is going on, you can see that right up the top looks like Magic manages to snipe a Minotaur, which is a big snipe there, but on the top, Magic's going to be losing his dock and losing this top fish, and we are seeing that Aphrodite coming through, so you're right. The resources indicated one thing, the buildings indicated a different thing, and then the third thing comes through, which is the heroic age.
You know, Boyd, on top of that, sure, on the right-hand side, Zeus might not have been able to push through that right side, but like you said, up on the top side, the dock is going down, the fish should go down as well. And so the aggressive, once again, Grass and Group built super aggressively with his docks. It took him time to get on the top side with docks and fishing ship numbers, but at this point in time, he has a pretty big advantage, eco advantage with those fishing ship numbers. That's big, man.
Yeah, and the more fish you have, the bigger impact it is when you hit that heroic age. You get that per scene tech, and it all of a sudden just starts to kick into overdrive. Magic will hit that first, so there's going to be a little bit of catching up to do, so to speak. Plus, he's getting a third town center. Also, not a third town center, a second town center. My math is bad, but what is that? A second town center in the center of the map here.
We have our fourth town center coming up by Magic there in the middle of the map, right? Wait, what? No, but okay. So Boit, Magic moves his army up onto the top side. He's able to get his docks back up. So the fishing ships were not destroyed by Grass and Groom, which means that a little bit of some idle fishing time, but he's able to drop Magic drops a couple of docks, and actually the fourth town center's getting hit.
That's right. He's had to use curse. His army isn't moving over here just yet, and the town center is looking like it's not going to get denied, but it might go down incredibly fast. There's this whole bunch of hoplites and Minotaurs getting some serious damage done. Grass does have to be careful not to overcommit too hard here, and the villagers will be able to repair this one back up. Magic survives another day.
Whew. Man, that 4TC play is pretty impressive. He actually keeps it up, right?
That's right.
Okay, enough of the 4TC. Enough of the Boit math jokes.
Don't worry, the fifth town center will come down soon.
Well, but still, you see what I was saying? Once those tox numbers start hitting, man, like, okay, sure, over on the right-hand side, actually, that skill is doing some work on the fishing ships of Grass. But now, at this point in time, Magic, okay, sure, he might not have the same amount of fishing ships, but now he has a good chunk of those tox. He's already heroic. Sure, he already used his curse, but he's got another town center. He's the one that's actually starting to push in, and things are starting to get a little bit tricky for Grass.
Yeah, absolutely. And he didn't lose the Minotaur. Okay, the Minotaur are just going off on a wild adventure by themselves, as Achilles is going to be able to track them down there. But once that heroic age comes in, now it is for Grass, those Minotaurs suddenly become a lot stronger. Plus he gets that Hydra out. But how long do you want to wait before you go for this push when you're behind a town center? Because obviously you want full pop bronze to push, but then that gives time over to Magic to get more economy in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's kind of a big deal that curse was used in order to save the town center by Magic, because that does mean that Grass does, regardless when he uses his bronze, he should be able to use it without getting hit by a curse. So that is one piece of good news for Grass. But again, the army of Magic is looking pretty good. Skill of doing some pretty decent damage on the water. So that fishing ship advantage that Grass used to have, it's kind of going down the drain here. And this game might be going down the drain unless he can get a really good push with bronze, which it looks like he's maybe thinking about right now.
He's trying to. Anemia Line Stun hits nearly all of those Toxotes. The bronze is forced, and Magic is simply just going to say, bye-bye, I'm going to run back to my fortress and town center. And if you want to stay here and take some stuff down, it's all good. I don't want to lose my units.
Now those... Now those dogs can just sit there and snipe. There's the restorations, Boit! Come on, who's gonna take this fight?
I'm surprised to see Magic still standing here and fighting. The bronze is really, really strong, but he does have the town center and the fortress to help prop him up, and the population is still looking like it's staying strong here for Magic as another bolt coming down onto the Chiron on the back there. 55 favor for that one, Maiden.
Wow, that's probably worth it, dude, to make sure he keeps those myth units alive. I think that's the real... That's such a threat. That makes this so much more threatening, is to have the Hydra and the Minotaurs. And he's forced back, man. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was a really smart play, but Chiron is already queued back up. Achilles is going to be coming in as well. The gold mine does get pushed off for the moment. Is the army going to be pushing back the village? Got to be careful, though. It's a scary day to be a Greek villager.
Or a hoplite, man. Jesus, Minotaurs. That was a good push, but I don't think that's what Grassgroom needed, because the town center's still up, the fortress is still up, and Magic still has a larger army at this point in time compared to Grass. So honestly, that looked sick, but with a little bit of retreat, you know, it looks like Magic is a-okay here. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he's completely fine. He's got now that Hades advantage comes in. You get the ballistics. You've also got range on the Toxotes. Grass is still trying to use his own favor advantage in this game, making myth units and all the other stuff. Lots of god powers to use throughout the rest of this game. But yeah, the 2 town centers is just a big, big mountain to climb. Even if he has managed to pick up a couple of villages, and it's only a tiny advantage at the moment, it's just going to get worse and worse as the game goes on. As Magic going to have to push forward now. He's going to see the fortress. The villagers will get idled here, and that might force Grass to have to retreat and give a little bit of a fight back onto Magic.
Well, you know, you see a bunch of Peltas getting created by Grass, so he's going for Peltas Hoplite. Even in a Greek mirror, you know, pretty decent match, or pretty decent army comp there, especially considering the you know, the threatening Tox of Hades. Peltas are pretty decent counter to Tox, even if they are the Zeus Peltas instead of Hades. Ooh.
Magic is staying on this spot. He's looking like he just wants to pick off as many of these villages as he can, but he's going to lose his entire army for this move.
Yeah, Magic prides himself in kind of intuition and decision making. That was weird though, right?
Yeah, he gets a couple of villager kills.
It's kind of weird.
I mean, if you go into the complete logic of it, he's got the economic advantage by probably quite a large margin at the moment. He's got more fish. He's got more villages. So if he can sack,
he doesn't see that.
He doesn't know that.
We see that.
You're absolutely right. He doesn't know that, but maybe he knows that. Like subconsciously.
Speaking of intuition,
you know, subconsciously. I don't know. So maybe he feels like he can sack his army, rebuild, and as long as he kills off some villagers whenever he sacks his army, it's okay. Don't know if I agree, but he's going. It seems like it's working here for Magic. Is he's the one to click up to the Mythic Age first, but Hera has also been.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Just barely. They're just barely off the Mythic Age from each other.
Actually,
Hera and Artemis.
Magic clicked up first, but because he didn't pre-queue it, Grass comes in first, so he's not going to be able to even deny it with an earthquake.
Oh, you're actually right. Yeah. You're actually right. Well, regardless, they're coming in at basically the same time, you know. Which do you think is going to be more painful, an earthquake or a lightning storm?
If you've got a mobile army, I don't think Lightning Storm is that great. Like if you're just like all Camel Riders or Hippias or Raiding Cavalry, it's not that impactful because you can just run away. But an army that Magic's got with only infantry units and archers, if you position the Lightning Storm in the right way, there's just no way to run away. You're going to lose a lot of units regardless. Earthquake, no matter what, is going to move in and kill off the town center and a whole bunch of houses here.
That's a good point. Still, okay, so army moving in here. Is it going to keep those patrol boats alive? I'm at 17, 24, 25. Just quick time check. Okay, just checking before, you know, some mythic chaos comes in. Here's what I'm thinking, Boit, is that sure, it'll hurt to lose all the buildings, but if you lose your army, then that means that with the siege and everything on the Zeus side of things, he can push through and also do plenty of damage to the buildings and everything of Magic, and Magic is going to be down an army and buildings at the same time, whereas Grass is only going to lose buildings to to Grass and Group. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you can do both with the Lightning Storm, especially since you have the 2 catapult.
Yeah. The one saving grace is Magic is still on 2 town centers, even though he's lost his middle one. He did get a 3rd one down the bottom. Lightning Storm now coming in here for Grass, as Magic is just going to decide to stay in here, not going to run away. The Lightning Storm's getting a huge amount of damage. Magic just trying to get as much DPS done with his army as he possibly can. But his army is gone. He's down to 122 population, Maiden.
Oh boy, that was rough, dude. That was maybe a decent idea to try and just YOLO your army and get as much damage as possible, but holy smokes, he's in a sketchy spot, man, now. 89 pop to 54 military pop, and there goes the town center, there goes the fortress, there goes the gold mine. Uh-oh. Now what? I guess boy, there's
the one saving grace is you still got Earthquake in the bank, right? You can still use that somewhere.
Well, but also the gold mines. Remember what we said, the gold mines. Like, he lost his middle position, but he's got the top side, and he's got the bottom side potential with gold in terms of gold. So game ain't over just yet, but Grass has got the middle, so he's got something here.
Yeah, and there's also the other scary thing is now it's kind of looking like Grass's army is effectively full Peltast at the moment. And what does that die to? A couple of Chimera.
Oh,
get into
yes,
roast some
please.
Peltasts.
Yes,
Peltast
please.
barbecue.
Ooh, it might be 8 o'clock in the morning, but I could go for some barbecue.
Well, Grass is making a really, really smart play at the moment. He's going for a raid on the right-hand side of the map, but he's also going to be dropping that fortress down to block this gold mine off. There's the earthquake in the middle of the town center here. All of those houses are going to be going down, as well as the town center. And he drops down to 25 maximum population at the moment. He's lost every single one of his houses. Maiden, that's 1,600. Is that right? Is that math? Wait, no, it's not. It's 16 houses. 800 wood that's just gone down the drain.
Okay. Touche, that's a lot of wood. Plus the town center resources as well, right?
It's a lot. And he's going to lose the middle town center to boot.
Is he?
Oh, I'm going super speed.
Yeah, probably.
All right, 20 minutes and... Nope, never mind, I've frozen. Hang on. Can I get your stream up? Yes, I can. Let's keep
catching
going.
up, man.
Let's keep going. Maybe you don't freeze and we can win.
I'm gonna play it on normal speed, which is like 0.85 speed for you. But the town center is down, and the fortress may be going down right afterward. Okay. Pretty decent power spike there with the Artemis. I mean, that was pretty good, honestly. So here's the army, full Peltas, baby. And like you said, that's not necessarily the best thing to counter chimeras and a whole bunch of hoplites and shades and whatnot. So let's see if Grass can hang on here. He does have gold over on this right-hand side, boy, but he doesn't have a town center currently. Doesn't really have resources for a town center either. Check out those resources, man.
Yeah, there's not many resources left for Grass at this point. So I mean, what else? He's lost both his town centers. He's got not much gold. I want to also point something else out here is that Grass doesn't know that Magic has a gold mine at the top of the map. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Oh, true. Yeah, true. Sneaky gold mine up on that top side. I wonder if he let me swap over to his point of view. Point of view. Does he not even? He doesn't even have it scouted. He doesn't even have it scouted.
No.
Actually, not that he doesn't even have that scouted. Well, I mean, by all means, there's how much gold is left over. There's 1,800 gold right there. So that's pretty nice for. That's why he hasn't been over there. He sent the raiding party over on this right-hand side. Hello, raiding party. That's a whole bunch of dead villagers. Look at the bodies. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and following all this up, and it's champion hoplites, champion archers. It's a full population Magic death brigade marching forward. And what else can Grass do at this point?
He can resto. He can try and micro his face off with Bellerophon, but other than that, he's in a little bit of a sketchy position for sure. Magic's on the 3 TCs. Grass is just barely getting his starting town center back up. But again, he doesn't. His eco, man. His eco is not there. His eco's not there. His army isn't there either. He just lost so many military units. He's lost all of the fish on the right side. You remember that one time at band camp when Grass used to have a whole bunch of fish? Magic at band camp has a whole bunch of wins. He's got himself 2 wins. Very well done there, in my opinion. Very, very well done by Magic.
Yeah, that was a solidly well played game there by Magic. I mean, he was on the ropes for a little bit. I think if Magic did actually spot that if Grass spotted that top gold mine, then maybe this game would have gone a different direction. But because Magic gets away with that, and as is so often the case with Hades in these tournament games, he just sneaks a gold mine, he's all good.
It's very true. I mean, but at the same time, like we were talking about in the middle of the game, like with the bronze push and everything, I think Magic was still A-okay, dude. Like, even if he wasn't on this top gold mine, sure, he had 14 vills up there, sick. But, he still had plenty of potential to mine over on this right side. He wasn't really completely kicked off this middle gold mine for most of the time he was there. So I agree, it definitely would have changed the game. This helped him big time get up to the mythic age, just have that consistent gold income. I don't think it would have changed the game all that much, but maybe Grass could have held on a little bit longer, had stronger, stronger power spike here, there. I don't know, but I just think ultimately it was well played by Magic, and Grass couldn't find enough damage with bronze.
That's exactly right. Anyways, we got game number 4 going to be coming on very, very shortly here with Mount Olympus.
Oh, shoot.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 4. Magic 2, up 2-1 against Grass here as he spawns on the left side of the map in the blue color with Poseidon, and Grass opting to go with that Kronos in the red color Maiden. I'm of the opinion here that Kronos is an incredibly tough god to play against for the Greeks, for the simple reason that they don't have an easy way to deal with myth units. And I mean not 1 myth unit, not 2 myth units, but I'm talking 10, 15, 20 of those buggers, whether it be Prometheans or automatons. It's a challenge. What do you think?
Of course. We've seen, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really like Watch Soup playing Kronos, because he invests so freaking hard into those myth units, man.
Yeah.
He's got a bajillion of those little Prometheans running around with those, after they've upgraded with alluvial clay, and they got the fun little lava feet. They look cool. And so speaking purely visually, not setting aside strategy and competition and everything, purely visually speaking, it's a fun army to watch actually fight. And it's a tricky army to also fight, because yes, against Greek is going to struggle against myth units in general. Yes. But on top of that, he's most likely going to go Prometheus. We'll see if he actually busts out Leto, possibly. But against those Prometheans, man, since you have to kill them once, and then they kind of die but separate into the little Promethean children. They're like these small little units, and so the fights with a whole ton of those little children running around, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. Like when we're talking about magic and game sense and intuition and everything like that, it can be a little bit tricky. A fight looks like it's going one way, but all those little Promethean children are just slicing like the ankles of the enemy units, and then suddenly, boom, your army's dead, and a whole bunch of those little clay boys left over. So it's tricky, man, but especially tricky for Greek.
You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's no surprises here. Prometheus is coming through. We're yet to see any follow-up oracles getting built just yet, as Grass is going to be time-shifting that temple forward. But, Magic, he's doing his stock standard opening here. He's very, very comfortable. This one, he's going Hermes. It looks like it's about a 3-minute 30 advance time as well. So this early rush really won't be able to get a whole bunch of damage done. But the temple's on the left side. He can maybe push in and hit these villages, but there's going to be a centaur there to defend. I'm sure Theseus is going to come out, and Magic might even want that Atalanta first before he drops the second town center.
it can you okay? So actually, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Yes, eventually the Promethean numbers are going to be difficult for Greek to deal with, but early on, you're absolutely like a Greek can easily do a 330 advance, and then boom, you got your. He already has one of his heroes out. Well, I don't know where he is, but he already has one of his heroes out. Atlanta can come out soon enough right afterwards. Atlanta's coming out right now, so the initial pressure should be easily mitigated by Magic here.
It should be. But where's the hero gone? He's gone relic hunting or something, I think. Oh, there's the Atalanta, and those Prometheans are going to get hunted down. And look at this by Grass, really smart. He's going to spread those Prometheans out and at least going to continue to get a little bit of damage done. As the Centaur is going to be checking out the town center instead of sitting at home here, as obviously the stock standard play for the Kronos is to just go for another town center. But Magic's in the main base here of Grass, and he's now having some problems.
I actually like this a lot, man. Like initially, what I wanted to like the idea is that with such an early advance and really strong heroes, that Greek initially, I don't know if you necessarily say it has the advantage, but you can do a lot of damage here with a couple of Greeks because the Promethean numbers are not yet out. So Atlanta's playing defense, and Theseus and even the Catascopa Scout is getting in on the action, baby. He's looking great over on this side, and here comes Atlanta too. This TC's denied, man.
I don't actually know. I've not seen a Kronos player get into this trouble here, as it looks like Magic's just been kind of saving this timing. Magic didn't go for a 5-second town center. Does he have a stable up? He's got a stable up. He's staying one town center. He wants to put the pressure on. That's one citizen down there, mate, and he has to use another Valor on the citizen retreating away, as more units are going to come through. And now Grass, he hasn't deleted the settlement, but he's already invested a significant amount of resources into building it. Those resources are gone if he doesn't finish that town center off.
Wow. Bravo forces the reaction. We get double counter barracks coming up for Grass and Groom. What a nice play here by Magic. He gets a citizen kill, stops the town center, forces the awkward reaction, handles the early Promethean. This is honestly like, this is about as good as it could possibly get as a side player here. This is great.
Yeah. And following this, I wouldn't be surprised to see Magic just go, all right, I got the damage done already. No worries. Let's pull back. Let's drop our own town center. And he's got the wood at the moment. He could also go for like a lot more Centaur and just continue to go Hippias Centaur, as he is just taking villages out left, right, and center of Grass right now. Oh, but the Centaur goes down. This could be enough here for Grass to just say it's time to go and finish that town center off at the top. It hasn't been cleaned up. It's still sitting there, so the resources are still sitting up the top there.
I don't think I like I think, and we actually see Magic is going for the town center on that top side. I prefer him taking a town center instead of over investing into Hippias, because those, just like what we've seen, we got a couple of Catapulties coming out, and boom, like a couple of Hippias are completely nullified or mitigated, however you want to describe it. So I like that he's backing off and going for the TC.
Yeah.
However, there's a temple also going up over there, so that beautiful town center with the beautiful hunt patch right there is going to be harassed. So This is good little counter attack here by Grass.
I really like that. I didn't realize that the Hippias did that much damage to the town center. I don't know if they've got like bonus damage or something. They took it out so quickly. 900 HP with 2 Hippias in, I don't know, like 20 seconds. That's kind of crazy.
Oh.
That kind of makes sense,
actually. He lost the TC.
Yeah, the TC's gone. He's taking it out. So now Grass needs to get himself back another 350 wood. He's got the gold, but yeah, he's a ways away from that. And Magic is well and truly on the way to just having the game of his life right now in this one.
Wow. Man, can I tell you something, boy? Like as we watch him retreat his heroes back, Magic had a little bit of a slow start on Retold, right? Red Bull, I think a lot of people say or would agree that he kind of underperformed in the Red Bull tournament, the first tournament after Retold was released. Genesis, he got his ish together, you could say. But this is the type of caliber, this on-point textbook play here is what I expect from Magic. He hasn't busted it out, been able to bust it out every time, but when it does, it's super impressive, man. He's looking, this game, You mentioned like the game of his life here. This is essentially exactly what he wants. This is almost a perfect game here by Poseidon. Sure, he's lost a couple of hippies there, here and there, but he's done so much damage and more damage coming in as
He's
well.
back.
This is awesome.
He's back on the down center again.
He's
He's not gonna let this go up for free. I don't think he's gonna be able to get much damage with his Hippias being that low HP, and the catapulti's there to clean this up. But he sees it. He knows exactly the timing. This second town center's back up. He knows he's not gonna have a huge amount of pressure coming his way, and he's already moved away from those cavalry units. He goes, all right, we don't really need Hippias anymore. I'm just going to start making my hoplite Toxo the army, and we're just going to enjoy the rest of this game without the need for mass Hippias.
Yeah. This is a great game by Magic here. Great game. He's taken all of those gazelles right there. Do we have one? I mean, he's got 6 goats in his base. He's got the back pumpkins. Do you have the? By the way, do you have the holidays mod going? I hope you do, because I love the pumpkin patch.
I have the pumpkins.
Okay, good.
It's the small things in life.
Big fan of pumpkin pie here. Big fan of pumpkin pie. Yeehaw. Anyway. Yeah, Magic is, he's looking good, man. He's got food options. Yes, the gazelles ran out, or are running out, but he's got gold over on that side. He has other food. He has decent food options in his base to continue that 2TC play, the 2TC eco rather, and to get a decent number of hoplites out as well. So I think he's chilling, man. I think he's doing great. There's maybe some opportunity here where Grass and Groom can use the mobility of the Terma to maybe run around and poke and pry here and there around Magic's base. That's probably where he can find some damage in the short term. He's going to have to find something, because the longer this game goes on, it's just going to go more and more and more into Magic's favor. He's done so much eco damage. It's been amazing. So Grass needs to find something. And again, I think the only thing he can really find early on is some raiding with the Terma.
Yeah, and with the Terma comes walls, and the walls are already... Like, the walls are the only real answer that Magic has before he hits the Heroic Age against the Terma. Obviously, you can make Hippias, but he's not making those anymore. But, yeah, so you can't really fight the Terma, but if you put walls up, the Terma can't get through, they can't get any damage done. So it gives Magic the time to get Heroic Age and get those Peltast out, and it's completely ruined the Terma as well. But the question now is, did Magic get enough damage done? Does Grass have a way back here by just booming? You still have to worry about Implode. Implode is this big fat power spike just sitting there waiting to be used for Kronos in this matchup, and it just completely erases an army unless it's fully upgraded, basically, and even then it's still gonna get a huge amount of damage done. So Magic's gotta be a little bit
fair
careful.
Point. That's a fair point. And with the slower army, the Tox and the hoplites, like where's the win condition to win before the implode happens? Maybe that's an interesting question right there. As a Terma trying to poke and pry a little bit. I don't know. I'm at 11:25, by the way. Quick time check before we get into more action. Yeah.
We're there. We're there. I guess the thing is that you don't really have to, like, quote unquote win the matchup as the Greek. You just have to ensure that you don't lose. And what by what I mean by that, that sounds really stupid to say out loud, but what I mean by that is that if you've got the resources in the bank to repopulate the army, once the implode comes down, your army is just going to win because you're full upgraded. The Atlantean army can't compete with that fully upgraded Greek army in the late game. So if you get your 3 town centers, you make sure your gold mines are secured, make sure your income's nice and high. Implode comes down, you lose the army, no worries, you rebuild it. It's all good. Resources don't really matter in the late game. And then you can push back and it's all fine. That's Curse Cards come back through, and Magic is ready to start pushing right here and now.
Yeah, there's a really nice chaos there, Boit. Maybe that'll give him the opportunity to pick off that Nemean Lion. Or maybe not. At the very least, it forces Magic back through. Speaking of a push, he's just, bam! Slapped back down, back into his base. So, I don't know. There's Terma on the backside of Magic base. Cantarius coming in. I don't know. Are Cantarius a good play here? Like, there's not a lot of mobility to take advantage of here, honestly. There's a little bit that he's getting with the Terma, but mobility is not a big advantage just at this point in time. Magic's base is pretty condensed and secure.
Yeah, you can always start just racing around the map with those guys in the open maps, but for here, I mean, if if you get the walls up, maybe even stone walls, then the Kantarias do get locked down in a big way. You're absolutely right. But right now, Grass, he is finding somewhat of an advantage, but it looks like Magic is able to push back for the time being. And the big thing here, I think, for Grass, the next step to ensure that he's got a huge advantage cooking is something he's already doing, which is, oh, no, he's not. Never mind. I'm looking at the wrong number. Is get himself some more oracles out. He's only on 2. We talked a little bit beforehand about how good myth units are on mass. So if you need to get those oracles out to make them, at this stage, there's not much need for a huge amount of heroes that they're all going to come through. But once you get like 5, 6 satyrs, then the heroes of Poseidon start to struggle, and they start to get sniped really, really quickly. And then those satyrs start to be able to snipe down all of the human units really quickly. But he's not doing it.
Plus
now
additional
he's doing
chaos uses.
There we go. They're coming out now. Okay. He's on top of it.
It's a little bit too late though. Like at this point in time, we were mentioning Soup early on. Soup would have 10 oracles at this point in time and like 700 favor roughly. So he's okay, fine. He's got 4 oracles out now, but still, he ain't swimming in the favor like he could be.
No. But now third town center for Grass behind all of this. He does have that deconstruction thing sitting, God Power, sitting in his back pocket to make a big push happen on this fortress. But Magic does have himself Ceasefire.
Ooh, true. He's gonna pop up the fortress, by the way. No problemo. Ceasefire in a fortress. I think he should handle this just fine, probably. But there is the follow-up, actually. Boy, those Arcus are heavy. They're pretty freaking strong there.
Yeah. And the Terma pushing through really, really close to tank up a little bit from those Peltas. It's kind of looking like the Hoplites are sending it in a big way. And remember, these Hoplites, they don't have Sarissa, no Athena, so they're a little bit less effective in those choke points without the range, but still a very strong unit nonetheless, as Magic holds without even needing to use that Ceasefire, which, I mean, honestly, like the best use case for that is after that Implode. Implode comes, you wait, you try to spam units back out, your enemy army comes through, and then you Ceasefire, you get 30 seconds to rebuild your army out, and then you're kind of safe. So I like that he's really trying hard to just hold on to it.
Sure. I haven't said that, Boy. If taking a quick step back, as the game is kind of like there was a little bit of a push right there, but it feels like the game is kind of chilled out a teensy bit, not a ton of really heavy aggression or anything on either side. Remember what happened at the beginning of this game? Like all of the damage that Magic got on that second town center of Grass and Groom. Yeah. So Grass has done a pretty great job of recovering, kind of equalizing economically, and so they're kind of toe-to-toe at this point in time. I don't know if I would necessarily give either player an advantage. It'll be interesting to see how Magic manages to handle the Implode, expecting that to come in. But at this point in time, the game is fairly equal, maybe a little bit in the Greek advantage, just expecting that he'll be able to handle the an Implode with Ceasefire like you've been talking about. Do you think either player has a big advantage here?
I mean, it's kind of hard to just say right now. It's more about just the players and how they execute. Raids coming in onto Magic here are going to be absolutely huge. Raids, if Magic can get them back over onto Grass, are going to be huge. So I think that says that no, there's not really an advantage to be seen right now. Though, if nothing happens, then the Greek army is just going to get out of control. So Grass needs to be the one dictating the pace, and he is getting some great raids onto this gold mine on the left side, as Magic is getting some great return raids onto Grass.
That's a lot of citizens, man. That is a caravan right there of citizens, holy smokes. And he is getting a couple of good kills there against all those citizens, man. Well, so this is the reason why I bring up who has the advantage here is because if you recall what happened, like Grass was in such a weird sketch. Magic was having such a crazy, awesome start to this game, but Grass and Grim has done a pretty great job coming back after all that pressure early on. So bravo to him, but he's got to find a way to close it out. Maybe Implode is the answer, possibly. This is turning into a little bit of a close and scrappy game, man.
Yeah, and this is the sort of situation where Magic just shines. He's so good at just recognizing, you know what, I can't chase those Contaris. Let me just go to your base. If you're not going to be there to stop me walking around, I'm just going to kill everything off. No problems. And Grass, he's got to somehow deal with these hoplites. The town center, Arcus, sure, they're going to do something. think he's got ballistics yet, so the hoplites have got free reign to just walk away without taking any sort of fire there. So even in the main base, Grass is going to be losing citizens. Or at least losing income.
Yeah. This is a good play by Magic, man. He's just booming up, booming up, booming up. We don't see Mythic Age coming in from either players just yet, but again, the longer that he staves off the implode, the better and better his army is going to be to try and handle that. The better his economy is going to be to handle that, etc. So the power spike, that big, scary implode power spike, it's becoming less and less of a game-ending situation for Grass.
Yeah, Grass is doing a great job of just staying in population here. Magic, on the other hand, I think he's just going for the Mythic Age now, and that's exactly what he's doing. So he's going to be losing a bit of military here, and have a little bit of an opportunity for Grass to make something happen. But it's only going to be for a short amount of time, as the hoplites are already queued back up. I'm sure Magic's going to get some more archers in here as well. It looks like he's not overcommitting on it. He sees how many Qualifiers are there, and he's just like, I'm just going to make hoplites, no worries.
It might not be a theme of hoplites, but by all means, they're a nice unit against Atlantean in general. Where, I mean, we see Artemis coming in. Where's it's a little engagement here? I mean, yeah, the hoplites are decent, but man, you still got to be careful of all those Arcus. Where's the best place for him to use Artemis here? Or Earthquake, rather.
I mean, you want to find the place where you get all of the manners, and they do look somewhat spread out. This is the big advantage, obviously, for Kronos. You can start time shifting them all around the map, and I actually think you should time shift them all around the map just to kind of defend your oracles and things like that. But it looks like in the main base there is going to be quite a few, like at least 3 manners to go down with the town center, so it might be the best place to go. The Magic here, he's taking fights under population. Is he going to be able to win these? The Satyrs on the back do have 2 heroes on them, so they're going to get taken down very quickly. The hoplites are looking mightily powerful here, Maiden.
Wow. What's Sarissa? What's that? What's Sarissa? Who's Athena, right? Holy smokes, he just shredded that army. What upgrades do those hoplites have, dude? Thundercloud Shell for the win.
Yeah, he's got, well, that's a lot of pierce armor. Bronze shields plus that Thundercloud Shawl relic, an extra 25%. It's kind of like you're sitting, well, you're not on that Aegis shield kind of tech, but it's still got to feel good.
Honestly, Magic is looking solid here, man. That Mythic Age timing is going to come in. He's got hoplites down on that bottom side. I could maybe see he's got villagers going down there as well. What was that about? Looks like he's. Oh, there we go. There's the earthquake. Yeah. Looks like he's going to sneak that TC after that TC goes down, man.
Well, yeah, it's actually a really, really smart earthquake. Does he get the palace as well? He doesn't get the palace, but his hoplites are down there, and this forces Grass to have to take a fight on this position, and he still does not have the counter army for these hoplites. And you know, you can go through it and say Kronos doesn't really have the best counter archers, but the unit that he does have, which he's not building here, is those Promethean. He's just making Satyrs, and I think he needs a better front line than Quantaris, because the hoplites are just completely erasing everything.
Everything is getting erased by Grass and Group, dude. The Satyrs going down, Quantarius are going down. His army is getting completely smashed here, all across the board. What, dude, that was a great earthquake. He ended up getting the town center, but like you said, the palace didn't go down. Grass still has those 2 palaces up, which is barely. Dude, he's not a heroic just yet. Grass is in such a sketchy position here. Magic, but boy, Magic is kind of running around awkwardly, it feels like. Yeah. It seems like he needs to really focus on that one position, completely destroy those palaces, take over that town center, and get himself into that really game-ending position, rather than just continuing, running around random little units here and there.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the thing that I know I've been in this position before, where you kind of have like that slight advantage. You want to push it as hard as you can, so you try and do as many things as you possibly can. But sometimes the best option is to just go, all right, put all of my effort into one position, get that 4th town center, get those gold mines down the bottom of the map, lock the map up with walls, rather than try and maybe force your opponent to make some more mistakes on the defense. But right now, Maiden, Magic is so far in front that it's almost like he can kind of just get away with anything here.
Yeah, true. True.
And get away with anything he does, as Grass decides to tap out there at 22 minutes and 50 seconds. This was Like, this game just went so well from Magic from the get-go, wouldn't you say? You've even got 6 of the Titans coming through.
Oh, poor Grass and Groom. Yeah, man. I mean, by all means, it was such a killer start by Magic. But I said it once, I'll say it again. I want to reiterate that Grass and Groom did a really great job to equalize around the middle part of the game. He couldn't quite find enough damage with the Contarius and the Arcus through the middle part to actually get himself into an advantageous position. But he did make a really great comeback and set himself up for making a comeback, but he didn't quite make that happen. And afterwards, the Earthquake was kind of the nail in the coffin there. I think that favor, man, he never really had a good number of amount of favor. Sure, he's got 5 oracles now, he's got some in the bank, but we didn't see the mass Prometheans. We didn't see the reusage of chaos. He wasn't taking advantage of what he kind of should be with Chronos.
Yeah, and I mean, what more can be said about Magic that hasn't already been said? But he's on now. He's through to the semifinals. He's going to be facing the winner of Kavoth versus Ulysses, which we're going to be jumping into momentarily, Maiden. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get seen, so to speak.
Okay.
Every fucking time I get Egyptian, I have to play an Egyptian mirror without fail. This is like the only matchup that I get with this fucking Civ. Yeah, like, what else you do? Camels or bust? Camels versus the better camels. I'm going 1 town center here. 1 town center camels.
In wedge. And you.
At least then I don't have to play like whatever the fuck this is normally going to be.
Entio, Gereg. In wedge, and nu, inage, erect, nu, Gereg. Entio, in ear, nu.
Let's get our obelisks down. Villagers over to here. We're gonna get that upgrade first.
In wedge.
Entio, nu. Gereg, nu.
In a gira.
Okay. Let's go. He's aggressively scouting, as he should. I can't really stop that.
Inage, nu.
Girej.
Do I need any wood in the classical age? No, I don't. Right? I don't need wood in the classical age, do I? What do I need? Husbandry? No. Let's just come over onto food here.
Kid. Gereg. In tayo, tayo refer. Greek, tayo, tayo. In Greek, tayo refer.
In a girek.
Yeah, it's just a straight fast heroic, right?
In sandwich.
Kids Baya.
Enito. Anwit.
Inito Baya. And kids.
Enito. Tayo.
Okay.
Enito. Ayo refer. UIR.
Gerek. Enti ayu ak yu ayu.
In tayo.
Enito.
Can't really leave my base because
and
there's shifting sands, right?
Rig.
And tayo. UIR. And we tayo. Ayo refer. UIR. Greek. Tayo. UIR. Greek.
In which.
Enito. Enito. And which. UIR. Greek. Tayo.
In ak.
And which.
Rig. Inito.
And which. UIR. Greek. And refer.
Enti
In ak kids.
Jirej.
in ayu ak.
In wedge. Erifir.
Tayo. Greek. Tayo. And which. Refer.
Inito. Tayo. Kids.
Entiu. Kid.
And which. Enito. Tayo.
In kids.
Antio. Tayo ak.
In wedge.
Rig.
Enito. And which. UIR.
In ak Baya. Inito. Kids.
Refer. And refer. UIR.
Jirej. Ak. Ak. In wedge. Antio ak. Erifir. Tayo. In ak. Tayo ak.
In which.
In tayo ak.
In urif ayu. In into you.
Rig. Ak.
Jirej. Erifir. Tayo.
In refer. Refer. UIR.
Gerek. EUER. Into you. Gerek. In you. In UER. In way. EU. Into you. Gerek. EU. In you. Refer. Into you.
UIR. Enito. Tayo.
In wedge. Ak.
And
Into you.
In a
Refer.
jirek.
Into you. In you.
And
Refer.
ak. In a intio.
Gerek. In you. Gerek. Into you. UER.
Jirej. Tayo.
Ayuir. Enito.
Enwit baya tayo.
Tayo. Enito.
and Gary into you and Gary into you you refer
Grig.
In wedge.
and wedge into you and you in you into you you in you refer you in you into you into you
Tayo.
you refer
Inito. Ak. Kro iya tawit.
into you and wedge into you at you Gary and wedge Gary into you Gary and wedge Gary into you refer
Enwit.
into you
Tayo.
and you into you
Grig. Ta. Kids.
and wedge Gary and
Greek.
Gary
And we Tayo. Tayo refer.
In wedge.
And UIR.
and wedge into you Gary
And
wedge
and init. Greek. Tayo.
into you and into you and into you
Tayo refer. Tayo refer. In UIR. Tayo UIR.
into you Gary and into you at you
And
Gary you
In
refer
ha.
and in you into you and you
Greek.
Tayo.
into you
Oh my god, can we just run?
into you
Jirej. Tayo.
Ak. Iyo. Kro iya tawit.
and
And you.
Tayo
In
refer.
wedge.
into you
Tayo
and into you
UIR.
UER
In tayo.
and wedge into you into you UER into you into you and into you refer in you and wedge you refer
Greek.
into you and you refer in UER Gary in you
Init. En
refer
tayo. Ak. I
in
baya.
Gary and wedge into UER
Grig. Kids. Baya.
in Gary and wedge UER
Greek. UIR.
into you into you refer and in you at you at you in you into you
My chariots versus their chariots. Hey?
And we Greek. Tayo.
into you
Inito. Tayo.
into you
En. Ak. Tayo. Baya.
and wedge at you
Tayo. UIR.
into you Gary and into you and at into you and into you into you at you into you into you into you Gary you refer and into you refer and Gary you into you refer and Gary into you and you refer you into you refer into you into you Gary in UER into you and into you
Eri. Tayo.
into you into you UER in you refer into you into UER in UER and into you
Grig. In you. You refer.
into you Gary UER into you and wedge you refer in you into you
In tayo.
Tayo.
Gary UER and wedge at you into you into you refer into you UER you refer into UER
Tayo.
in at you and into you
Tayo refer.
Gary UER and at you into you Gary and wedge into you at and you into you Gary you into you into you you in you and into you
NUI kids.
into you
IR.
I at you.
and wedge
Greek.
into you
Greek. Ini tayo.
you into you and into you
Greek. Ayo in Greek. UIR.
In a jire.
and into you
Tayo kids.
In sandwich.
Gerek. In with Gerek.
Sandwich. Greek. Tayo.
you refer and
Sandwich.
into you
Ini ayo refer.
into you and into you and into you girl you into you refer and into you girl you refer and you into girl into you refer and you into you girl into you and you refer into you refer
UER.
and you refer
Babaya.
Garrick, you into you into you refer
Babaya.
and into you refer into you and wait you refer into you Garrick and into you into you refer into you refer and into you into character and into you girl and wait into you into you into you into you
Greg Babaya.
Jire.
Greg Naya
In
in
a
Shrek.
jire. In wedge. Erif high and yo.
into you and into you refer girl into you refer and into you girl and into you and into you refer into you girl and wedge into you girl and into you and
Ini to Greg. Baya. Tayo kids. Ini you tayo kids.
into you refer and wedge into you into you
Tabea.
and you refer and into you refer and into you into you and wait Garrett and wait into you and you refer into you into you refer you into you into and wait into you and wait into you into you girl you refer
In you.
girl into you and wait you refer into you girl into you into you into you
And by ini to
into you and
UER. Kent you. UER.
and into you and into you
Pro and
and
Yahweh.
ini you no.
Garrett and you refer into you refer
And ak. You are kids.
and
Greg.
wedge
Gerek. UER.
And
in Garrett into Garrett UER into you and into you and Garrett into you and Garrett into you into you Garrett and you refer into you Garrett you refer into you
And
and wedge into you and into you refer
Ini and with you refer.
into you and Garrett you into you refer
kid.
He need to kill kids.
In kid. Kid.
and into you,
He
In
need
which.
up kids.
into you, UER, into you, into you,
Gary. Kid.
Rig kids.
Erect.
into you, into you, UER, into you, UER, into you,
In which. Kid.
He
Kid.
need to kids.
into you, UER, into at you, you refer, into you, into you, into you, into you, UE, into you, Gary,
Erect.
Rig you are no. He not no.
Gary. Kid.
Rig kids. He need to
into you, UER, into you, into you, in UER, EU refer, into you, into you, and into UER, Gary, EU at you,
in rig kids.
into you, and with, in EU, in UER, in UER, in you, into you, UER.
GG, I guess. Oh. He didn't go for camels. So that meant we could go for chariots, which are just as strong. So if he goes for camels, then there's nothing I can do, right? But he was nice. He went for the barracks units. He went for the counter archer, so that meant I could build my archer. Look at how much. Look at my KD. Look at how much better I am than him. This is just like I'm just like this much better than him. Look, I built 41 slingers. I built 29 chariot archers. So I had the perfect comp. That's why I have so many more kills than him. Yeah, the matchup is a lot more fun when the slingers are actually good. I agree. Yeah. Anyways, GG. It was a fun game. It was. I'm like, this is on the side of the type of game that I prefer to play. So maybe I just need to stop going to town center and Egyptian wall and just go for the all-in cheese every single time. Cheese, quote unquote cheese. At least I'm fighting for the entirety of the game instead of going to town center. If you go to town center, then it's just going to be fast mythic every single game and there's nothing there. So I guess you go one town center and just hope that you can get the gold stuff. Or, yeah, hope that he, for whatever reason, decides to go barracks units. I feel like I've tried this strategy before against Chemo and I on Elysium, and I was like, it works, but because he went 2 town center fast heroic, but I was set, I guess. I don't have that Ancestors Eclipse. I went 1 town center all in, and I killed him. I killed his 2 Migdols. But then he snuck a gold mine. So I just have to like not get anything snuck, I guess. Anyways, GG.